Harry Belafonte is one of them man, what them call them civil rights activists in America. We come up during the time of all of them man, Black Panther, and even before the Black Panther, you know, Malcolm X, all of them man, they create a levels of a consciousness in America that connect it. And the link with all of them man, there was Marcus Garvey. Yeah, the link between Farrakhan, Malcolm X, this Virginia, and Martin Luther King, all of them connection, them link, was linked to Marcus Garvey. That's the father of Pan-Africanism. And we have to know that. And it's just a pity that Jamaica not catch up yet. These people who control the information don't catch up with what is taking place out there and what we, as a Rastafari and the Black Power movement, the Pan-Africanist movement, what we have done to solidify Jamaica in the annals of history as one of the most unique islands on this planet. This is Mutabaruka. We want to present to you a wholesome kind of level of consciousness right now. So subscribe and tell your friend them. This is Mutabaruka.
It was a thrill to go to Jamaica and to see black policemen. We didn't have black policemen in Atlanta then. I used to come back regularly with Martin Luther King because he liked Jamaica. In fact, most of his books were written in Jamaica. He would go to Jamaica just about every year.
Jamaica's independence was extremely important to me. In New York City, my mother was a very strong Garveyite. She loved Marcus Garvey. We went to rallies in which Marcus Garvey spoke. When I came to Jamaica in that youthful period of my life, Bustamante was very busy giving the British a difficult time in their rule of the island. So I was always around an environment that rebelled against its suppression. And that alone gave me linkage. Now when you talk about the culture and the music and the art, that was so indelible to my experience, and it became so central to my own cultural expression that there was just no question that I was a Jamaica man and would wind up being that for the rest of my life. In the history of the record business, the first LP to ever sell 1 million records within a year was the album entitled Calypso. And the phenomena of that was so enormous that RCA, the company that I recorded for, gave me what was considered to be the first gold record in the history of the business, and really set the stages for what ultimately became the Grammy. And every time I look at these awards, I can say, well, that record that reflected the culture of that remarkable place called Jamaica was the forerunner of all of this, and I take great pride in that.
Very interesting how I must say that him winning, him getting a gold medal, gold for the first million-selling album, gave rise to the Grammy. So there we go again. There we go again. Jamaica indelible mark upon the world. All them things there, we must know, you know. It's good to know these things. It's not that it's going to make you have $1 million, but it is good to know these things. Keep it in your head that you can come up with it when time ready. You don't know what can happen that you have to bring up that thing and say, but wait, gold medal, hey, is a man from Jamaica make that possibly, you know, the Grammy possibly, you know. So nobody go on like say we are nothing. Because you hear the whole heap of idiot thing go on with politician and gunman. We still make an indelible mark. So we come go look, I mean, there's so much things that Jamaica has printed out there that is indelible. So much things. And we have to recognize that. We can't just throw it one side so because we never ban them timeless so that now have nothing to do with nothing. Can you imagine the youth them now who I see Usain Bolt and Shelly Ann and 30 years time them say to the other youth them, the youth them are 30 years from now I say, why Usain Bolt, them man they a long time people, them the old man, them, they know. No, Rasta. We can't do that. Can't do that. You're the man that talk about Marcus Garvey. Him say mother was a Garveyite. His mother was a Garveyite. So how him couldn't become where him is as a man who would defend black people, civil rights movement in America. Him don't have not a choice. I mean, I shouldn't say him don't have no choice, but it was embedded in him, it's instilled in him. And him rise up to be a one who carried further by pushing Martin Luther and even helping him and his family. You know, so, yeah, man, we have to think on these things and know, say, these things work out. So we are saying, now, we'll play this song, as you say, we are waiting for Martin, Martin. We are waiting for Martin, you know. So, anytime, operator, anytime call, just send him in there. I could go and play this tune we will play by Nat King Cole, brother. Him name Freddie Cole, sorry. Him name Freddie Cole. Jamaica Farewell. We just hear Harry Belafonte do it. Martin, Ephraim Martin, how you do?
Doing well, sir. But first, let me say a big our condolences to the great one, Harry Belafonte, a powerful brother who just made his transition. So, on behalf of Martins International and the community, we say our condolences to him.
You listen to the tribute we are going with? You listen to it?
Yeah, man. You see, I remember him in 1981. I did an interview with him when I was at the Defender. And that's the time when he called Jamaica the new pawn for the U.S. government. And
yeah.
Talking about it at the time, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so how much years now, Martin? Tell me, 40 odd years?
Well, you know it, 40 years.
Right.
And I think I've seen you about almost 40 of those years.
Oh, I mean, of course, we did it from the beginning. Chicago, yes. Remember Chicago?
Yes.
You know, there's somebody meet Farrakhan. From me go meet him, there's somebody and him a brethren.
You know, those were the days, man.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, you persevere, brethren. I tell you the truth, you persevere with all our go on and no money now make for you and them. You continue the journey. And I have to big you up. I mean, I will if a man want to big you up. So I do it on behalf of them. Yes, Martin, you're going good.
If you remember, when we started, it wasn't about money, and it's still not about the money. It's about the music and the movement. It was about Nelson Mandela behind bars. It was about an end to apartheid and freedom and democracy around the world. So it's along that we started the award. And with man like Peter Tosh, who encouraged us and joined us in the beginning, and Dennis Brown and Freddie McGregor yourself, Taylor, and all those people who were there from the beginning and still being with us still.
Still there. Yeah, man.
Without you all.
Can't question your validity in the music business. Can't question. Nobody can come say, that brother there, money man look out for the thing, you know. Nobody can say that.
Not at all.
They would have been the wickedest of the people in the world to say that. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But I give thanks, and you know, as we are getting ready for the 40th anniversary, I'm going to be on May 7th, Sunday, May 7th, right there in Kingston, Jamaica. Of course, it's going to be at the Pegasus Hotel, and this is where we're going to honor those who have made made outstanding contribution to the industry, like yourself and others. GT, we're talking about some of the veteran entertainers will be given special honor on that night. 34 of those people who have been around and have made outstanding contribution will be acknowledged. A man like a Weepo, Stone Love, will be given a special a tribute to dancehall music coming back from the over the last 50 years, taking you down memory lane, where people can have this award is going to be the award that really you have never seen it like that before. You know, this year we have also added a best IRAMA song over the last 40 years, talking about our movement over the last 40 years. And there the 5 finalists will also be taking the stage. So it's going to be a very outstanding event coming this May 7th in Kingston.
You remember when it used to keep them over here?
Oh my God!
Inferno. You remember Inferno?
Yeah, Club Inferno. Yes.
I tell you, that's a long time ago.
Tracks and blue and what they call it, rhythm. That's outstanding back in band there from those days. Yeah.
Watch out, man. What? How old is youth right now? You are talking about this thing. I don't even know what we are talking about. Because them never did about 40 years ago. 30 years old. All them artists I know where jump up and down the place I know. Them never know them something at all, and it's not that me wrong them if you don't know it, but them supposed to know it, you understand? Them supposed to know it.
Yes, because if you remember, when we were in Atlanta in 1990, that was the time when we dedicated that event fully to Nelson Mandela and the freedom of Nelson Mandela, for the freedom of Nelson Mandela and everything. And that event from Atlanta, right in the celebration of Nelson Mandela, his freedom, that was the tape that was shown on public television in South Africa, celebrating the Nelson Mandela in 1991.
Yes.
So we have come a long way, just can't believe that it's 40 years already. But hey, we're here.
So you're about what? You're about 92 now.
I didn't get that.
You're about 92 now. You're Harry Belafonte at the same age.
I like that. But the same about the 40 years, you have to remember that when I started, it's like...
You've got to think of 40 years. Or when we just say you look like a big man, when we just meet you, come like a big man to be here to wait.
It's a serious thing because about 30 years ago, a man said, boy, you got to be at least 70. Because we have been hearing about you so long, and they started going back to the days of the Glee 1974 and, time, But, no, I'm still a young man.
Yeah, man.
But, this could not have been possible, and I'm serious about it. This could not have been possible without the support of the reggae community. Even man like Tony Rebel, because Tony Rebel been coming to the awards for a long time, over 30 years. And so it's the people, it's a movement, it's the people in the industry. I'm just the facilitator, but it's you all who have helped to make it possible and make it work. And when we come out and when you see on Sunday, May the 7th, at the hotel, Pegasus Hotel, you see these people walking the red carpet and celebrating and collecting awards and having a good time. It's what we're all about. Honoring and saluting reggae and world music entertainers. Of course, on the next Wednesday, we'll be having our press conference, and it's going to be in Kingston at the Crew Sport Bar. But
Where?
That's where the entertainers and the media will meet.
No, where you say going to be?
CRU, Crew Sport Club. That's right there on the Oak Road and about Lady Musgrave Road. That's where the entertainers, the Uzo, will be talking about their nomination. And, meeting the press. We're going to meet the media there and have talk about the whole thing.
Yeah,
and then on Sunday, May 7th, is when we all will be at the Pegasus Hotel, walking the red carpet, having a good time, and celebrating reggae.
The music. All right. Well, I look forward to it, Brethren. Say give thanks,
Yeah, and of course, the information is always there at irama.com. That's irama.com. And, of course, we have the contest for the one of the contests for the finalists. Irama Song Contest finalists is going on YouTube. That's Irama YouTube. That's YouTube.com/. /IRAMA. You can go and see who you like of the 5 contestants and who you support. And then that night at the awards, then you can help to say who the winner should be. Well, there will be some official judges there at the awards to select who the winner will be on Sunday.
You know, Martin, me I talk to me, I remember a whole heap of things, you know. I remember when you did have a show in July, I don't remember what the show name. Not the Martins Award. And you had it. Yeah, you had it, and me and Sparrow performed, you know. Me and Sparrow performed in the park, and more sellers than people are watching the show they didn't. They appear. And a couple of years after I go on the show, I think Blue Magic did it on the show. About 100,000 people in the park. And I said, about wait. From nobody in the park but seller to nearly 100,000 people in the park. I said, how this man do that? How you do it?
Well, the police said that. The police claim that there's over 100,000. But let me say this. When we went to the City Front Center, and let me say, that spot where we were then, that's where we were able to successful and the movement that I started in 2020 to rename that most iconic street as Jean-Baptiste Front de Sable Lakeshore Drive. That's where you were. It was right because that's what.
No, what did they before? When me and Sparrow did play for 4.
Yes.
Which part that was?
That was called the City Front Center. Now, on that spot was where the man Dusaba founded Chicago.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Exactly, and this is where they call us the invaders, because they say it was an invasion of the community. Because all these black people coming into this community.
Well, I tell you, that was something else, man. When we look, I go up on the stage and see people as far as I can see, I say, wait. Then not so far, it comes so quick from me and Sparrow perform to the sellers them to thousands of people at the park. Wonderful, man. You do a good work, Bridget. Trust me.
Well, we try to do that. I remember when you lay down the song, and then they said, boy, this man is calling for a revolution in our city. What?
Everybody get nervous.
Yes. As a matter of fact, when Robert Townsend, the actor, came up and was going in, they said, no one else can go inside. And I said, no, that's Robert Townsend. You know who's Robert Townsend?
Mm-hmm.
They said, no. So after that, they said, well, we cannot come back. We couldn't go back to that area.
Yeah. Anyway, we have to move, though. We have to move.
Washington Park, which was even a bigger location.
Yeah, so we are moving now. We have to look towards the same time. As you said, the same time, Pegasus Hotel.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we don't have enough tickets for everybody, but a limited amount of tickets are still available. Yeah. And there's a limited amount of VIP and general tickets that we open up to the public. And you can get it right here at irama.com and come and be a part of the celebration.
Yes.
That's May 7th. The red carpet will be rolling out.
How much time you going to mention the red carpet, Rasta? On the red carpet, did it? The man mentioned red carpet about 5 times to Rantin.
That's the showpiece that everyone wants to see.
I'm going to come with my mud up foot and make print on the carpet. You go on. Anyway, we have to move, Virgin. Give thanks, yeah?
The carpet so often. As a matter of fact, every time that you walk on the carpet, all the cameras are always there.
Yeah, me know. We have to move, Martin. We have to move. All right? We have to move. I don't want to cut you off. We have to move.
No. We understand. So we'll see you Sunday, May 7th.
Yes. All right. Give thanks. Whole soul living in the body of a 12-year-old. Different kind of lyrics.
You are listening to the Black Radar YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep listening.
I'm going to play this. Denzel Washington. Now, Denzel Washington is an actor, as a whole heap of you know. And Denzel Washington, you might not know, him don't kiss white woman. Sound weird when I say that, don't it? But it's the truth. Denzel Washington don't kiss white women in movies. I don't know if he kiss them outside, but obviously if he not kiss them in the movie, I don't know why would I do it outside of the movie. So we want to play this. Make a play it. Okay.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm Ramil Thompson. In the world of acting, things can always be unpredictable as the range of scenarios are vast. There are many different movies with different requirements that work well for some, but not so much for others. No matter what the situation is or how experienced the actor is, there are always chances of differences on set. With this being said, Denzel Washington is one of the most famous and acclaimed actors in history. He's believed by many to be one of the greatest actors of all time for his range and excellent theater and film performances. Despite his massive fame and success, Denzel has managed to maintain some level of secrecy about the way he navigates in his career and how he handles himself as an actor. One rule Denzel has that many may not be aware of is that he doesn't want to engage in romantic scenes with white women. This politic has been consistent in Denzel's career for a number of years as he's not been shy about his stance. Currently, there are only 2 known instances of Denzel kissing a white woman on screen. The first being in the classic 1992 Spike Lee Malcolm X biopic, and the next one coming 20 years later in the 2012 film, Flight. Initially, when reports surfaced that Denzel and his white female counterparts were having some differences on set, many assumed it came from the woman. However, it was Denzel making the call. According to The Looper, the earliest recorded instance of Denzel editing a romance scene out was in the 1989 film, The Mighty Quinn. According to reports, Denzel had the romantic scene removed because of black women booing during the film's screening at the film's premiere. This moment of disapproval impacted Denzel greatly, and he subsequently made a point to show his black female fan base that he values them. A quote from Denzel from the aforementioned article states, "Black women are not often seen as objects of desire on film," Washington said. "They have always been my core audience." His loyalty to his black woman fan base isn't the only reason Denzel has refrained from being overly romantic with white women on screen. In another quote provided by the same source, Denzel reportedly said the following to white actress Kelly Lynch. "You know what, Kelly? I hate to say it, but, you know, white men bring women to movies, and they don't want to watch a black man with their woman." There was another instance where Denzel was said to have had an interracial love scene cut from the 1993 film.
All right, so we're going to come forward to it.
In brief, his co-star Julia Roberts alleged she had the scenes cut out, but a representative of Washington denied that claim, along with the claims of Washington asking for scene cuts from the film with Kelly Lynch. An excerpt from Nikki Swift on the matter involving Roberts states, "Although rumors about actor Denzel Washington's longtime refusal for on-screen interracial romance are still somewhat just rumors, Washington's reluctance to confront the gossip leaves many questions as to what really happened on which set. We may never know which of the specific incidents Washington employed this rule, but it is definitely something many people in the industry are aware of as a part of his package." Denzel's comment in reference to the devaluing of black women as love interests in comparison to white women on the big screen has a lot of historical and current merit. Historically, when it comes to American film romance and in general, white women have always been the standard of beauty and the standard for which men should pursue women. Much of the time in earlier Hollywood, black women were reduced to subservient and mammy roles such as Hattie McDaniel and Gone with the Wind. This demeaning imagery has been a complaint of the black community for years. Denzel seemed to be very conscious of this and has since decided to display his loyalty to black women in this way in order to push for more diversified romance representation. The second reason he gave in reference to the disapproval of white men explains a very real reality in our society and one that has had dangerous consequences. There have always been a section of white men who are intimidated by the idea of white women sleeping and being in romantic relationships with black men. This can be evidenced by the amount of lynching carried out against black men at the mere hinting of any possible sexual relationship with any white woman historically. It is highly likely that Denzel was aware of these social dynamics and the historical consequences of black men engaging romantically with white women, and this could have very much affected his relationships with them on and off screen. Interracial romance has always and continues to be a controversial topic. Due to obvious reasons, many have conflicting opinions on whether or not interracial dating is something black people need to engage in, most particularly with white people. Many people, such as Dr. Umar Johnson, most notably, argues that those who step outside of their race to date do not love the race they come from, while others think it is simply a matter of personal taste and love. In the case of black men specifically, it has always been the most dangerous as far as the potential consequences, and some black men use that sole reason alone to avoid interracial dating, while others feel they are owed to be able to date whoever they want. Rajem Praswad's book, Why Black Men Love White Women, details the historical consequences a black man could face if they showed attention towards a white woman, saying that if the eyes of a black man were to land on a white woman, it could mean death. The book even theorized why some black men gravitate towards white women. This environment helped to greatly increase any interest the black man may have had in the white woman. If the black man had no innate interest in the white woman, he certainly would have developed some just out of curiosity. It would go on to say, as the physical and social distance between the white woman and the black man increased, the psychosexual distance between the two decreased, developing a mutual interest. A popular narrative over time concludes that many black men felt like they were quote-unquote getting revenge on the white men by sleeping with white women whom they felt had always sexually desired them anyway. In an article by Tatiana Ward on Black America, an excerpt in reference to her father states, "When I asked him his thoughts on beauty biases, he mentioned many things. But the one thing that stuck out to me most was the idea that there was once a time where a black man could be killed even for looking at a white woman. In some ways, it was the ultimate revenge to covet her, and in other ways, it was the forbidden fruit. As previously stated, this mentality isn't uncommon and would provide even further validation to Denzel's earlier comments about many white men feeling uncomfortable about the relations between black men and white women. Another incident involving President Obama proves the same thing. According to an article from the Huffington Post, Obama proposed to a white woman twice, but her parents were unsupportive, which ultimately ended their relationship. In Hollywood, interracial dating doesn't seem to be much of an issue, as there are many white and black couples in Hollywood who are accepted to a large degree. There are some who theorize that dating a white person while in the industry can be heavily responsible for a black person's success. Due to the amount of privilege and access whites have over blacks, many see it as a sort of business move to romantically engage with whites to move up in the industry, which we all know as the term, sleeping your way to the top. It should be noted, however, as a group, most black men and black women are married to each other. But in the context of interracial dating, black men are the most likely to engage. According to statistics, it is 2.65 more times likely that in a black-white interracial union that the male will be black. This phenomenon can be an added reason behind Denzel's on-screen decisions. When discussing his stance further, Denzel added that it is much harder for women, and particularly African-American women, to get any consistent work in Hollywood. A quote from Denzel from Daily News Lagos states, "Black or white, there seems to be a cutoff for women. Don't have kids, you're out the door. They're constantly looking for the younger one. The younger one, and for African-American women, women of color, it's doubly hard. And then for dark-skinned African-American women, it's even more difficult." These are very real challenges black women do face in the industry, and Denzel's decision to not willingly engage in any romantic scenes with any white woman could have been a contributing factor to many casting directors in Hollywood valuing black actresses more and more as time has gone on. One woman who may certainly appreciate his stance would be his wife, Pauletta Washington. According to Parade, the two met all the way back in 1975 on the film set of Wilma, the Wilma Rudolph biopic in which Denzel played Wilma's husband and Pauletta played a fellow track star. The two would meet again at a party and then coincidentally see each other a third time at a play in which they were unaware they were sitting next to each other until the lights came on. Pauletta has referenced this exact moment as when she knew the two were meant to be. Surprisingly enough, Denzel's wife of 35 years wasn't an easy catch for Denzel. According to an interview of the two conducted by Daily News Lagos, Denzel's first two marriage proposals were rejected by Pauletta. Pauletta didn't explicitly state why she said no to Denzel in this interview, but the third time was clearly the charm. When speaking on her marriage and what keeps her secure, Pauletta states, "I am secure as to who Pauletta is. My mother raised me in a way to know who I am, and actually, he married me for who I am." Furthermore, in an Ebony magazine interview, she's been quoted as saying, "He has and knows he has stability in me as his wife. That's what gives him strength. Regardless if he misuses it, I can't dwell on that. But I do know that gives him a great platform to go and fly." Pauletta is still acting currently as well, as she is in the Spike Lee Netflix series She's Gotta Have It, and was seen in the 2021 film Steps, produced by Shaquille O'Neal. Denzel's long-lasting and seemingly happy marriage to his wife can be seen as an example of his loyalty and appreciation to black women, and as a great example of black love. It seems that Denzel understands that black love being represented consistently on the big screen is just as important as it being shown in real life. As previously stated, interracial dating politics have always been a huge point of contention for many members of various racial groups, especially between blacks and whites. Whether it be on screen or in real life, there are those who seriously oppose the intermixing of races in any romantic life. Denzel hasn't explicitly voiced any bigoted reasons for not engaging with white women on camera, as his biggest reasoning has been consistent with honoring and respecting black women and being intentional about helping black women be seen as desirable and worthy of romantic pursuit. Being one of the top actors in the world and of all time, this stance is particularly powerful and has greatly impacted Denzel's legacy and perception as an actor and public figure. His intention of showing value and honor to the black woman is something that has undoubtedly opened doors for many black actresses and actors who may have the same values. With that being said, it is safe to say that we can credit Denzel with another positive contribution to the community and the culture in an already legendary career. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy.
Yes, that's interesting. Yeah, man. Black man decides them now make love to a white woman for the movie. Now, most of the movies them about interracial love affair. That's how America set it. It's either interracial affair or some gay business. Because that's what them are push on the people them now.
You are listening to the Black Radar YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep listening.
This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. We'll be with you next Wednesday night. So, a whole heap of ones who listen to the program might not hear about this brother here before. Until now, which means 2 days ago, Harry Belafonte passed away, 90-year-old. I would just play 2 songs by him a while ago. Coconut, not remember no Coconut. Kingston Market, and now we play Island in the Sun. Now, believe it or not, for those of you who are listening, them truly was big music. When I say big, like hit song, million selling tune in the 50s. And it's now when me hear, apart from the work we do as a civil rights man, and you know, him used to help Martin Luther King enough. Yeah, support Martin Luther King and his family enough. But something burned me today because, well, I know today, you see it, I gone hide all the time. Something burned me because me hear some ones and ones talk about Harry Belafonte dead. He was from the Caribbean. No, watch a man. We go through too much of this now if you know identify certain things, you know. I'm really cut up about it because I hear them call reggae music, Caribbean music now. You know, some things when I hear them talk about now is like them now want to get kiddos to Jamaica and where we offer the world in terms of cultural expression and all these things. And bad man thing too. So you know. You see, Harry Belafonte, a whole heap of people don't know, say, his mother come from St. Anne, just like Burning Spear, just like Shabba Ranks, just like IRFM. Him come from St. Anne. But his mother have him in a Harlem. And what happened now is that him come back here as a youth. Me could play this tune here. Go and play this tune here, and here we are going here. So. Yes, so we are telling you about this man, you know, where do so much things. Him roots innocent and even though him born in America, him never shed him Jamaican roots because him come back, well, him parents bring him back in Jamaica and him used to go Woolmaz. Well, if people don't know, say, Harry Belafonte, we're going to come forward, you know. Anyway, let me go over back what I talk about, you know. Why I feel away when certain people say certain things, especially when we know, say, Jamaica gets so much bad name and all them something like that. We have to grab on where we have, you know, what is good. So, this man named Harry Belafonte, his mother come from St. Anne, and she go to New York. She have a youth named Harry Belafonte. But she bring him back on here and make him stay with some of my relatives, them, according to the story. And him all got Woolmaz. Only people never know, say Harry Belafonte got Woolmaz. Him go back to America and become, well, first thing, in 1952-53, he make the first million-selling album. And it was a calypso album. Can you believe that? In the 50s, that time, me just born. And him also become and did what no other black person did before him. And that was to conquer Hollywood and become a big thing in Hollywood. Him and a brethren named Sidney Poitier, who come from the Bahamas. I think they make him a national hero too. So even though them man they did there in America most of them life, but you see Jamaica now, how many people didn't know say Farrakhan father come from down at Kingston, downtown, so Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan. Yeah, him have Jamaican bloodline, and not only that. Him used to do calypso. Farrakhan used to make calypso. How much people know, say, well, all people go to the know who me attack. Gil Scott Heron, him father Jamaican. How much people know, even though she don't want to say it, but we know it because she did say it. And then now push it down. That Kamala, the vice president of America, our father is a Jamaican. Why me I say these things is that, you see, anytime we find, say, a man have that connection there with Jamaica, we have to mention the word Jamaica. We can't really talk about Caribbean. We love the Caribbean, you know, but Jamaica, like Usain Bolt now. The fastest runner in the world is Usain Bolt, and he comes from the Caribbean. No, sir. I don't accept that. Shelly Ann, the fastest female, is a girl from the Caribbean named Shelly Ann. No, sir. I have to call Jamaica name. That means a whole heap of one feel good when them ears say Jamaica. At least we are conquer whole heap of things. We are say, right now it's kind of important that we mention, anytime we are talking about great men and them have connection with Jamaica, we have to say it because we need that upliftment here right now. Even if a whole heap of ones don't know Harry Belafonte. Most youth right now while listen to that program don't know who name so. You know, when I was about 8 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, I used to live at 19 Potters Row in a Raytown. And them used to have a thing named jukebox beside a bar right near the gate. I can't explain what jukebox is told you now. You go Google a jukebox and I don't know the name so, but the jukebox have been record in there. It's so that the one them where they did that jukebox there was some blue 78. Because them usually have 45, but some of them have 78. And I could have stayed in my house and hear the jukebox a play. And where I remember about that jukebox, there's certain tune that me remember distinctively, but I want to play 3 tunes. And after I play them 3 tunes, I go and play a little snippet of Harry Belafonte talk about him life, little bit. But why I remember that, say, even though Harry Belafonte born in America, but him mark indelibly, him mark him root in a Jamaica, hardcore. When I say hardcore, I mean hardcore. Where the Prime Minister say, him a call part of the highway and I send on Harry Belafonte highway because around that area there, him parents come from. But we want to play this tune here first, where, trust me man, for all the whole feet them who know what me I talk about, know say this tune was a big hit, and the next 2 tunes I'm going to play, a big hit in Jamaica. Listen, what are the most unique fruit on earth and most useful, completely useful? We are talking about from the stalk to the leaf them, to the shell, to the meat where inside, like the water, everything. Coconut. I remember one time them did want to kill out the coconut them. Yeah, them did try to kill out the coconut them until they say coconut oil this and coconut oil that. And we come realize a coconut oil are the best oil and not only that. A whole heap of movie star now I go for coconut oil for rub on them skin. Yeah man, whole heap of them. So that was one of the tunes them where used to play at the jukebox. For those of you who know name jukebox. Dog Potters Row. Same place where Raytown keep them session you know. I don't know how we are talking about. Potters Row. Yes. And this one was massive. The next tune here. The next tune here we are going to play is massive. Listen. All right. I can stop it just a little bit. 6 foot. A banana I'm talking about, you know, and them say 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Now you see me slow. Miss Lou have a whole heap of things to do with the Virginia formation and songs them where him sing. And Miss Lou say, she don't understand what this boy I talk about. She never tell him nothing about no 6 foot or no 7 foot. Because Jamaica no refer to an banana as foot. They refer to it as an. A 6 and 7 and 8 and bun, she tell him. And he make the mistake and say 6 foot. But guess what? It never change. And the tune is still big out there. Yeah, man, may I tell you. Hey, you know, say Colin Powell connected to Jamaica too. The same brother they were during the Iraq war. They that show everybody in the world or Saddam have weapons of mass destruction when none never there. Who remember when Harry Belafonte come out at him? May I tell you? Call him as a name, man. Yes, slave master. Pick me, Negro, and a Negro have said still, but Harry Belafonte tear him up bad. Harry Belafonte was very instrumental in the works where Martin Luther King performed in America, helped him a whole heap of ways, and one. We go back to this album. We want to play this tune here. I want this. It's the next tune where, trust me, for all who don't know, you see them tune I play, a million selling tune them here. When you never have people that sell million selling tune, this man here, responsible for the first million selling album. Yes, the first million selling as a Calypso album. Yes, the people them say, why that could be my father. My father couldn't ugly so. Big hit. So the next one we're going to play now is a very interesting song. It have a twist to it, and the twist is in the last part of the song. So you have to listen to it. It is about a man and him woman, him wife really. And I say, boy, anyway, listen to the tune. It named One More Dance. One More Dance. Listen. What a woman that Rasta. When she hear the man dead, she say, well, that's all. But for she go here, say, the will I go read. She no more dancing. Well, you know, say make an album with Odetta and they make an album, well, Mira Makiba, the two of them. One album. And this tune, this next one we are going to play now. It as again, it have a curveball in the end of it. You have to listen to the whole night to get the fullness of the tune. A curveball in it. Yes, the woman is smarter. That is what I must say. All right, so Harry Belafonte, hey, you notice the music, well, to do old people like dinosaur like me, the music, them have a kind of Cuban flavor, not necessarily Calypso, Cuban. Even though the original tune them, when they make, they have that deep Calypso flavor, but the tune them will play so far, them have this Cuban flavor. You know, Cuban music was big in them days, you know, big, yes, Cuban music. So all of the song them used to come out of the Caribbean have that Cuban influence. Yes, just like how reggae become now dominant, and a whole heap of the song them used to come out of that reggae influence. Well, it's the same thing in them days with Cuban music. As you hear the song them Harry Belafonte sing so far, we never go into the album yet, Calypso. You hear him use a whole heap of Congo drums. Yes, and upright bass in them time there. Okay, here we go. So I spend most of my life in America, New York to be exact. I'm passing. I'm 90s. Long life, man. 90s. Whole heap of people now you hear them in them 90s. You know them here. It's good. Yes. Young people, them, I don't know what them do. Them don't want to live till 90. Anyway, them not for work because the AI will take over for the youth them. So, Harry Belafonte give a wave, let go a wave, a ripple for the appetite for Jamaica. Yes. Because you first time when you go up on the North Coast, a pair of film song them you hear them a play. Plus them call it the mentor music, and even some of the songs them when they sing was some old song in revive where Miss Lou kind of show him how to do it and all them really and bring it to another level. Before the break, we want to play a little touch of this tune by Nat King Cole Brother. The same song we just see him sing a while ago. We're going to play it with Nat King Cole Brother sing the same thing. Okay, we just want to play the part where the man talk about himself, Harry Belafonte. Him actually say his mother come from St. Anne and his father come from St. Elizabeth. Him born in Harlem. Yes. And now we say in past way, we see the government is going to make. I think they would give him an OM or something like that a couple years ago too, you know. I think they would give him an OM, somewhere about this. So. And now we say they're going to name a road for him. They're going to name a road for him. And yes, him do him work. Trust me, man, him do him work, Rasta. All the things them him do in America, all the acting we put on him and Sidney Poitier, and that man there, we can't forget all them actors there. But them man they know, you tell nobody about them and nowadays, we born 30 years ago. Them not going to know who you talk about. Them not going to know because a whole heap of youth have no time to look about them something. Them not deal with what take place in a now. You know, them not have no connection to the past, even though the past have a direct relationship to where I go on now. You know, see. So if you don't know your past, your future might look like it's your future, but you're living in a next man world. And yes, serious thing. Serious thing. We have to find a way out of this maze. Have to find a way out. And that is where we're there every week, twice a week, to make African people understand which part of the thing there. You know, so the man, them are saying, them want to go Mars go live. You know, see that? One of the richest man them in the world, Elon Musk, send up a rocket the other day and in 3 minutes it explode. 3 minutes, it gone up, it explode. You know, so we are going. There's certain things that them doing that me and you will never know what them doing until it affect we, and then even when it affect we still don't know. Look on the food. You know what I talk about genetically modified. They might make the food that the food can't get rotten. That the seed we plant one crop, you can't take that seed from the crop and plant the next crop. You have to come back to them to get the seed. When you look on the things them in the supermarket, sometimes I tell you the truth, sometimes I go to the supermarket just to look on the things them I read it here. No, I tell you. Sometimes I go to the supermarket, you know. I don't really have nothing to buy more than so, you know. And I find it pleasurable to just walk around on the aisle them and read the label them on the things them where people eat. Yeah, man. How skim milk getting a coconut milk? How skim milk getting a coconut milk? And why most Jamaican people know that? That you have a product out there right now, it's a coconut milk on the front. And them tell you skim milk in there, you know. Just like how them tell you say cigarette, kill. And everybody ignore it. The people who smoke just ignore that. They don't want to read that. And you have some little fine writing where they pan it where you have to put on magnifying glass or microscope to read it. And that's the dead trap there. The one where you not read, not the front me not talk about, where you look and you say, coconut milk. Or when you say something else, with big and bold on the front. But within the label, because they put it on the label, you know. It's not like them hide it, you know. Some of them put it on the label and know say you're not going to read it. It's like when you go to a doctor and them give a medication for go full at the pharmacy. But you can't read it. Most of it you can't read it. But you go there and go get it filled and go home with it. Nowadays it's very easy to find out when night, you know. Use your iPhone or your computer. Yeah, man. Easy. You see, if you go in a place and you can't figure out what the label say, write it down and go home, go look. Google it. Because the computer brain much bigger and larger and greater than our brains are right now. It have information where we will never be able to harness inside our head. And you will find out that a whole heap of pies out there. Not the pies them we see visibly like the pollution from them car and bike we drive. Not the poison from the obvious, some of them, well, people don't even know neither, like the deodorant them, the toothpaste, the powder, the thing where them are putting on them ear, the thing where them are put on them fingernail, all them things there. Whole heap of it full up with poison. But we not check it. We not check it. And now the youth them more than all not check it. You see them talk about the youth is the future. Watch it. Mine is AI is the future, you know. Mine is AI is the future. When the AI them come take away all of the youth them work. And them can't get to do nothing. They have to sit on your house and make the AI look after you. And then eventually the AI start think. That is why Elon Musk them are fret now. They must say the AI them gone too far now. Look like them develop things in them way. Them never put in there. Them never put in there. It's like a youth that do all sorts of things. And you see him go do a terrible thing and you say, but wait, me never teach you that. Or you learn that. But then you say, try human. But guess what now? AI going to things where the youth them can't do. And then maybe, I'm long gone, the AI going to manipulate these young people. Think I joke me I make? The AI going to manipulate them because them is a slave to the computer. Slave. Them love the computer more, them go to bed with the computer. Wake up with the last thing them look at when them go to bed is the computer. And the first thing them wake up and look at is the computer. And that is how you know so it's slowly getting to you. And you don't recognize that it's getting to you. Your brains no longer is used. Because you have to depend upon. Then I find myself get hooked in a certain thing. So I don't remember no phone number, you know. I don't remember no phone number. Give thanks, you can't put the person's name into the phone number. So you remember them name quicker than them phone number. So you just say boom and look for John. And John come up and you just dial John. That is where them have way. Can't remember no phone number. I don't know if it's a deliberate thing that I don't want to remember it, but that is where it reach now. And if you ask most people, them don't remember phone number. AI. That is the thing now. That's what's happening. Say the AI them start to think independently of human beings. You think it's joke. You think it's joke. Then why you think Elon Musk and 100 of them come together and say, look here, make we ease down, make we ease back. Because this thing I get out of hand. When an AI start to talk to somebody and ask them about them wife, the man ask the man about him wife. Like him have a bad wife, relationship with him wife. These things is happening, unfolding every day. These mad scientists, these Frankenstein, don't know what them doing, and them know what them doing, but look and see, just like the planet of the apes, I keep repeating myself about the Planet of the Apes, you know. If you go and look on the Planet of the Apes, not the last one they make, the one with Charlton Heston, but look on that movie there, the Planet of the Apes, and you see what is possible in human existence.
You are listening to the Black Radar YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep listening.
Yes. The stepping razor. We remember, like you can remember what you're going to do. Maybe next year, like you set a program, I say, well, this is a calendar of events. And like me, me say, all right, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and I'm going to do stepping razor. But before I start stepping razor, I'm going to do certain things. All right. You see the things them when me I try remember for do with the program tomorrow. If me put it in one of them iPhone and computer, yeah, me don't have to think about it. Me just press and it show me exactly what me going to do. And some of them want to show you what you going to do too. Depend on the program you have in the computer. So now, the youth them get control because even them homework them do have to do again. It might sound far-fetched what I say now, but it's a reality. The youth them even them homework them do have to do again. Because them have something in chat box, them just go there and boom, 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 and they just do the homework for them. So there's no keeping up numbers or keeping up information inside of them head. All the information is in the computer. You don't believe me? Check how much things you try to remember now. And you have to go to watch your iPhone to remember. How much people did call you, you never remember to them call you. What them did say to you, but you don't remember what them say. Which part you're supposed to go, and you don't remember which part. You just turn to the computer. So, at this right there. At this right there. I don't know far-fetched thing. I don't know nothing unreal me I talk about. I don't know conspiracy theory. A real thing. Real sitting happen to we human beings. See, man I travel with robot. Unless it reach. Man I talk about him have robot in him house. I do all sorts of thing with perversion. Perversion. Yeah, man. At this it reach. And them a push me further and further into the abyss. This world that we're living in, this Western world. You know, I can't say Western world again, you know, because in China, them big with it. Them big with it. Yes, ill.
Muta.
You're blessed.
Muta. Man,
yeah. Wait, watch a man. A long time if you call me, you don't call me, you know.
What do you mean? The last time I talked to you was the last cutting edge in March.
No, you never hear me call you about Jashaka. You never hear me say Jashaka one.
I've been calling every Wednesday in April so far, and the operator no answer.
How she answer no? How she answer no?
Well, you ask them every Wednesday in April.
No, man, but don't worry for people. No, man, people are calling me and I get you. I don't understand that.
Yes, but they are talking about me. Me, man, doing on the phone.
Yeah, but she don't know who I call. She not going to stop you. She hears how you are called. She going to put your hand fast.
Listen, I'm just stating the truth. If you guys been phoning every Wednesday in April, and the operator to answer.
Watch out, I get me at the end of April, you know.
Exactly.
But I see a big thing going on with Shaka. The Shaka get a big turnout time funeral thing, the man.
Is that funeral a 9 night?
Yeah, 9 night. I mean 9 night. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, 9 night. Yeah. Enough one.
You know, and in the 1970s, when it was one of the songs we used to hear when it started sound system on. And in fact, in Bible, if I dead family, my man didn't go label at John Arson studio, with Farmer Smith, British Bands, cuts the kind of love my rhythm, them, especially then I fight by Nathan Styles. Let's cut it at John Arson studio, 21 Nassau Road, with Farmer Smith, Virginia Bands, you know, so, because, you know, and yeah, love that cut to play on my thing. And then we are there. But I tell you, man, well, nothing better feel about a child, so I'm glad we get you so far, you know, and thing, you know. And big thing with Diane Abbott, the first female African MP in the British Parliament because Keir Starmer took the whip from her, suspended her, because she replied in the Sunday Observer just gone in relation to a guy who talked about say, Irish and other people then suffer more racism than our people and that type of thing. And she wrote a response to say that truthfully that Africans have suffered the most racism more than any other.
Oh, me about it.
So what happened? She's a friend and Alice Jones Cardin in suspend. They want to get rid of her.
Yeah.
And what she did was that she apologized stupidly instead of standing her ground. Because what happened, a big mistake that she made was that she was comparing the racism and prejudice to people who have red hair, Europeans, red hair and that type of thing.
Oh, yeah?
So she should not be created against that. But her basic point, which is the African race, has suffered the worst in terms of racism. It's true. And she should have stood her ground rather than cowardly apologizing, because they have every intention, Keir Starmer and his cronies, of getting rid of her out of the Labour Party, just like Johnny Cardin.
Yeah.
And show you, it is simple. Diane should have done her homework so silly and set up herself and stood her ground, because, for example, she should have said the biggest genocidal Holocaust in history is that suffered by our African race. No Jews, no Irish, no travelers, nobody else but suffer what we suffer.
Yeah, but she not going to say that, man. She not going to say that.
I am saying those were the truths that if she had the guts, she should have said. And what she had mentioned too is, for example, that Jews were not denied the right to vote in pre-civil rights USA or to sit at the back of the bus like our people and that type of thing.
Yeah.
I know, in the U.S. Constitution, the Africans were declared 3/5 of a human being. Human. Yes,
yeah.
So all of these things are truths that would have demolished what Keir Starmer said. And the hypocrisy, the racist hypocrisy of Keir Starmer is that he has, ever since he got elected as head of the Labour Party, I watched this interview on BBC one on a Sunday morning, the first thing, and all he was talking about was so-called anti-Semitism. Nothing about racism against Africans and other people. Nothing about Islamophobia and that type of thing. And by the way, his wife is Jewish. His wife, Victoria, is Jewish. We have 2 children in. But nothing except what concerns Jews. And this term, anti-Semitic, is a stupid term. Because the Arabs are also Semitic people.
Yeah,
so it's really anti-Jewish. It's
well, them a call a word for themselves. Them a call the word for themselves.
Which is a lie.
Yeah.
Which is a lie. I will not let them get away with that. Because not all of us are stupid or ignorant. It's anti-Jewish, not anti-Semitic. Because the Arabs and other people, some other people in Western Asia, not the so-called Middle East, are indeed Semitic, just like the Jews. So it's anti-Jewish.
Yes.
And there is a hierarchy of racism, whereby other people suffer from racism from Europeans, yes, Japanese, Chinese, and that type of thing. But the Africans, be the African race, are at the bottom of the ladder, the pyramid. When it comes out to racism, no other race of people have suffered from racism and continue to suffer from racism, like our African race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is what Diana but should have had the sense and the guts to stand up and maintain, because it is true. You know?
So what the Prime Minister going with? The Indian Prime Minister, what am I going with?
Well, you know, going with the same ism and schism and thing, because it is still scandal after scandal. There had some phone thing on here recently whereby the government phoning everybody who have a phone under the pretext that...
Oh, yeah. So that go hear me about it, yeah.
Yes, under the
it's an alarm to tell you when things are going to happen.
Yes. But it's a thing for monitor and set on people.
No, so what happened? So it did go through, your phone did alarm?
No, what happened? There's a way in which you can do things to prevent them from being able to phone you at that time. Oh. So that is what some people did. You understand? But others who never know or never take interest to do it, even though they heard, got that got that call.
So let me ask you something. if you stand up on the tube, if you're in the tube underground, you hear all of the phone them go on one time?
No, what has happened, you know, is that when you're underground, you're not really able to speak underground because of the signal system, you know. You can kind of use your WhatsApp and that type of thing, but to be able to speak when you're underground.
No, but the signal don't, no, but you don't have to speak when the signal come. You just hear the signal.
Yeah. The signal would show that it comes through. But what I'm saying is that there are some procedures which you would apply to your settings on your phone that will prevent them from being able to call to you. And, you know, I'll send that information to you, which was, you know, used. You
know, why may I ask you that question? You know,
but what I'm saying, you know, is that his wife's company, what it is being said, was involved in this contract to do this. So, money making to where that is concerned. This is what is being said. Some company named Infos, INFOYS, something like that. But I will furnish further details to give you next week.
Yeah, all right, we don't want to come and fight. You know what I know? You see media England, I mean, our boss. Like what them say, phone will go, not certain time them say the phone will go on.
Yes, I said at 3 o'clock.
All right. You see me in our boss, I mean, England, I hear everybody phone go off at 3 o'clock, because I get scared, you know. Because I remember when the Irishman, them used to bomb up the subway, them, you know. I'm going to have to run out of the subway, them, because them say vacate now. So sound go off, bomb up fine. So if me in a bus, and 50 people in the bus, I hear 50 phone go off same time, I scare me, I get scared, I come out of the bus.
Yes, because as you know, some bombs are triggered using the phone.
And that say, I think I watch enough movie.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
Because the IRA bombs were triggered.
Yes.
And the bombs by other groups too.
Yes.
Using a phone device. Yeah, using a phone
device,
so,
yeah.
So it's a real serious thing that...
Yeah, man, that's scary, that's scary, man. Hold on, let me take a break.
Yeah, and this is why a lot of people don't want this under the pretext about them doing it in case of the so-called national disaster.
Yeah, where man didn't go?
Yeah, man, me there, man. And
oh,
we just have to say, my father, Teacher Williams, my first headmaster at Friendship Government School, St. John's, was Spanish Town, St. Catherine. His famous student died on Tuesday the 25th because after graduating from Michael Teachers College, my father taught Harry Belafonte at Halfway Tree Government School in the 1930s, you know?
Yeah.
And Harry Belafonte was actually born on the 1st of March, just like Burning Spear, but Spear is 1945, and remember the Battle of Adwa, Ethiopia, was 1st and 2nd of March too, you know? So, born in Harlem. But my father taught him, and my father told me that he used to have to give him the strap too, because Harry Belafonte was rude. And I remember the last time I saw Harry Belafonte was at the BSI South Bank in London, where last time he came here a few years ago and he published a book about his life. And he admitted that he used to get a lot of trouble in school, you know.
Yeah.
I went to Tree Government School and also Woolman's Boys School with Edward Shukir, the son of S.N. Shukir, you know.
Yeah, well, I mentioned it, but you remember when he did out against Powell and the government of America about the war?
Yes, man. He said Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice are those slaves. Rather than working to free the people, working with the racist down-pressers. Yes, man, if you actually...
Them vexed when they say so, man.
A starch Garvey, you know.
His mother. Yeah, him said that, yeah. Yeah, his mother was a bad Garvey, yeah. Oh, may I tell you, anyway, we're going to move. Because another break will come up here, we're going to move.
All right, well, next week we're going to forward again. So, don't be sure what sad situation in Kenya with the Christians.
It's all like the Guyana. It's all like Guyana again.
Yes, the
Jonestown. It's all like Jonestown, yeah.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.